What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Seven Figure Flipping Podcast. This is Bill Allen. On today's show, I'm going to talk about the current problem in today's housing market. So it is May 2023, and I'm going to talk about what's going on in the housing market today.
My name is Bill Allen, and I'm the leader of a group of elite house flippers and wholesalers called Seven Figure Flipping. We don't brag or show off our success, but instead let integrity and stewardship be our guide. We are dedicated to helping people unlock the freedom they desperately need. If you ask other real estate investors, they will say to keep your secrets quiet. But we believe in abundance, not scarcity. And that's why we are the elite. We are Seven Figure Flipping, and this podcast is our playbook.
All right, I read an article recently saying this is now the biggest problem in the housing market. So last year, 2022, and even early 2023, we were seeing the mortgage rates being the issue, right? So mortgage rates went up. People stopped really kind of looking for homes. They weren't willing to pay. There was a gap between what the sellers were willing to sell for and what the buyers were willing to pay for. It was a seller's market for a really long time and kind of started to transition through summer and really like kind of fall and winter 2022. And so a lot of our Seven Figure Flipping Mastermind members, they were seeing inventory stay on the market a little bit longer, having to drop pricing, things like that. Now, the challenge that's what's happened recently is people have started to understand that mortgage rates are what they are. And in fact, if you're waiting for a 2.75, 3% mortgage rate to buy a house, you're never going to buy a house. So I think people are starting to understand that now. So they're not waiting. And they're going out. Now they're looking for homes, especially as we're moving closer into summer and all this stuff is happening. You're starting to see bidding wars again. You're starting to see not enough inventory on the market. So we've shifted at this time from the mortgage rate being a problem to inventory being a problem. That's what this article talks about. In fact, it says last year mortgage rates dominated the housing narrative. Now the main actor appears to be inventory. So there's a lot of data points here talking about pending sales, things that are on market, stuff like that. But here's how the two work together of what I see. So the fact that people have a 2.75 or 3% rate on their mortgage right now, they're feeling trapped in their house. So where they might have normally moved up to a new house, they're actually feeling like they don't want to get rid of that mortgage because now it's affordability, right? So now they're going from 3% to potentially 6 to 6.5, even 7% interest rates. And they're seeing that affordability has gone down so much. They're losing 30 to 40% of their affordability based on their mortgage rate. So for the same mortgage payment, they're getting 30% less house at 6% versus 3%. So they're not willing to do that. So they're just staying put, which means less inventory on the market. So a lot of reduced inventory means there's still a similar demand or a higher demand of people moving, traveling, things like that, or wanting to buy their first house, starter home, first time home buyer, second time home buyer. Now we have less inventory and the builders aren't building to keep up with demand. So now we see a huge problem in the marketplace being inventory. And supply and demand is a pretty simple equation. When there is more demand than there is supply, prices go up and demand goes up. So now that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that we have less houses. There's like 23% less houses going pending right now than there were this time last year. So the challenge that you see, so here, new listings of home for sale fell 22.4% nationwide from the previous year during the 4 weeks that ended April 23rd in Redfin. So I pulled some of this data. So you look at that. And then Realtor.com found the number of homes newly listed for sale dropped 20% versus a year ago. It's this issue where people aren't listing their houses. So when we have less inventory, we have higher demand. So we're seeing, that's why a lot of the flippers, a lot of people that are out there that have inventory, they're really happy right now that they kind of either kept inventory or they had kept their business going through some slowdown. Now they're seeing these things. They're seeing multiple offers. They're seeing over asking price in some areas. And it's really interesting to watch this kind of just coin flip from one side to the other. And so here's my takeaway. And I'm going to keep this one short because I think it's really important for you guys to know this. What my takeaway is when there's no inventory, we create the inventory. So the goal of you as a house flipper, a wholesaler, anybody in the real estate market right now, whether you're you're a landlord, there's high need for rentals, even high need for short-term rentals. If you can create inventory, then you can basically print money. So when there's a lack of inventory, if you have the inventory, if you can figure out how to keep your business going, how you can grow the inventory that you are putting on the market and bringing to the table, you are able to win in this marketplace right now. So regardless of the mortgage rates, that's stopping a lot of people from getting in and getting involved in real estate. But if you can figure out how to create inventory, then you can figure out how to create money. And so that's always been my thing. How do I drive leads? How do I drive traffic? How do I raise capital? How do I create inventory and bring to the marketplace? Because if I can control the flow of that inventory, then I can decide my income. Totally different than working a W-2 job. Your W-2 job is you trading time for money. And a lot of you that listen to the podcast are wanting to leave it or are interested. You're getting that real estate itch and you're not scratching it because you're like, oh, the mortgage rates are too high or it's too difficult or now's not the right time to get into real estate. And it's just all garbage. It's all noise inside your head. So no inventory right now. You can learn how to bring inventory to market, how to find off-market opportunities, how to negotiate a great price on something like that, and then be able to fix it up, add equity. So you have to build in appreciation, just force appreciation. So that's what flippers do. Wholesalers force appreciation through some work, building out systems and processes and creative ways to remove liens, to negotiate rates, to add value to the equation. So the flipper, the landlord that buys it from them, they have value that they added. And that's how you create money in this business. And so right now, no inventory. It is prime opportunity for any flipper out there and wholesaler out there who can bring inventory to the marketplace to make money. So I do think that this is a problem. And I do think here's some other stats here. Here's one. Approximately 82% of potential move-up buyers, so somebody who wants to move up from one house to another, felt trapped by their current low mortgage rate, like I was talking about before. Realtor.com said over 1,200 potential sellers that they polled in February. They found that. So interesting. The challenge for sellers today, if they sell, is they're likely to have to take a higher interest rate. They're going to buy another house. And we all know that. So pending home sales being down, and inventory is also good if you can figure out how to bring inventory to the marketplace as a builder. You can figure out how to find land, build some houses. Great opportunity for that. But builders, flippers, wholesalers, anybody who can create inventory for the marketplace is always going to win. If you control the inventory, you can control the narrative. So I think this is exciting for us. And now I'll tell you the next step that I would like to see in the marketplace for when we're really starting to do well as investors is we just need the American people to really understand the fact that they are actually in some sort of stressful situation. They're in distress. They don't have a lot of money. I still feel like they feel the economy's still propped up on a feather. People feel like they have a ton of money when they really don't. And that's when the dam's going to break. That's when everything's going to flow towards us, is when people start realizing that consumer sentiment continues to go down. People realize that they're in trouble. Right now, their car payments have doubled. So average car payment is like $800 a month right now. That's going to start becoming an issue when all this consumer credit, when all of this stuff starts adding up and just building and building and building. Eventually it's going to break and there's going to be a lot of pain in the marketplace, which I'm not excited about. I don't love that for the people, but I mean, it's already happening. They just haven't realized it yet. There's just so much kind of cover up, so much news that's going out there that everything's fine when most people are not fine. And eventually we're going to be there to support them and help them through all that. We can help them with their assets like their home and figure out how we can help them sell their home, get that cash, unlock some of that equity. And then we can bring value to the marketplace by fixing those up and selling them on the marketplace. And so, I'm excited for you guys that are out there listening to this on how you're going to make money in the marketplace. I think that there's a great opportunity here if you can bring inventory. And I want to encourage you to get into real estate right now. I will always be banging this drum. Like there's never a wrong time to get into real estate. The wrong time is a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. If you have the tap, if you have the urge, if you have the dream, then just do it today. Like do it today. I was talking to a guy earlier today about his business and I asked him what he really wants. He feels kind of trapped in his company. They do live event business and he just feels trapped. He doesn't want to do it. And I just said, what do you want? He's like, I want to do something totally different. And I said, why don't you just do it right now? Like, what are you waiting on? What's stopping you? He's like, yeah, but all my employees are dependent on me. My partner's dependent on me. I have a salary. I have all this stuff. And I was like, well, it sounds like you're miserable. It sounds like you don't love what you're doing. It sounds like you're not enjoying it. Like you really don't want to do it. Just pull the plug right now and go. And he was like, man, nobody's ever said that to me before. And if that's you, then just, get get going. Like just jump, take a step into real estate, jump in there like I did and start taking action, start knocking on some doors, sending out some cards, send some text messages, just, tell people what you're doing. Tell people I'm getting started in real estate. You never know. The person that sits next to you at the church, they might have a house they want to sell and you can help them. So just get started. Today's your day. Today's your day. Get started and we can help. We have a mastermind and coaching program called the 7-Figure Runway. It's for new investors that are just getting started. We can show you how to find that inventory, how to negotiate that inventory down in price, how to fix it up, how to then sell it, or how to wholesale it, how to find buyers that you can wholesale these deals on the back end, and how to add value to the equation so that you can make money. You just go to 7figurerunway.com. The number is 7figurerunway.com and fill out a 30-second application and talk to somebody on my team. We'd love to talk to you guys about taking that next step into real estate, whether it's leaving your full-time job or just creating a side hustle for yourself in the beginning like I did. And who knows, maybe eventually it'll turn into that big thing like it did for me. Go to 7figurerunway.com, fill it out, and I'll see you on the next show.